In this video I want to show the basics of 3D modeling and create this part in CAD, in this case in SoldiWorks. I've also uploaded this model to GrabCAD, so if you want to see this model for yourself you can download it here for free. I've put it under idler arm, so if you search over here after registering and logging in, idler arm, you see I've uploaded this model. There are more people who have uploaded the similar kind of model. It's because it's used in quite a lot of SolidWorks trainings, and if you look here you can just download a PDF file of the drawing and you can also download the SolidWorks parts. So I'm going to start modeling this and show you that it's quite easy as long as you're following some set of rules, and that's particularly that you put the origin there where the most features are coming together. It's at the blue point over here, that's where I put the origin of the part. For the rest, it's really important to model as symmetrically as possible, so you do all the work that you have to do only once, which makes it easy. And then I'll start modeling. At first this surface is the most difficult in this part, and I'll put the origin over here. So I'll create a new file and start all over. I'll start on the front plane, and for example there's plenty of ways to start this, but at first I'll just draw a circle and then continue from there. I'll use the cutting tools, the trim tools in SolidWorks to create the rest of the feature, the first feature, like this, and it's then convenient to create a tangent line like this. I'll only draw half of it in the beginning and then the rest I'll mirror. And let me see here in the drawing I've got a circle, so I need some extra lines over here. So for example like this and that. Alright, and then I can cut away the rest of this part, so I'll trim, and I've drawn then half of the part, and then I can mirror it in the sketch. Usually if you have features to mirror, it's more convenient to mirror in features. Sometimes it's already easy to mirror in a sketch, and then it's nice to have a center line like this, for example, to mirror around. So I'll mirror everything around this line, right? And then I want the center of the circle, the center of the circle to be on the origin of this part. Let me see, that's connected, I think. And then I'll enter some dimensions in here. So the dimensions are on the drawing, I'll use them here as well. The radius of, it's a bit of searching, the radius of this one is 25. Alright, and I'm modeling in SolidWorks 2014, so if you're in different versions things might look a little bit different, but not too much. Then the other dimensions, this one should be 33 from there to there. Yep, from there to there. 32 from this point to this point. Should be 48. So I'm using the dimensions that are in this drawing. So you see here the dimension of 48 and 33, 45 and 33 that I'm using over here. And then if you continue, you see there's a radius on top here. Let me see what that should be. It should be 14. 40. Then I'm almost finished with this. It seems like some parts are still blue, so you can just drag and see what happens. This is a common problem. You should enter a symmetric, a tangent constraint over here, tangent relation, and then almost everything is finished. Almost everything is fit together. This dimension should be 25, and if your sketch is then fully dimensioned, you see it over here, and everything has become black. And now it's easy to model in a symmetric way, and the width of the parts are on this drawing view. So this one should be 55 over here. So I'll enter 55, and then in a symmetric way. That's very important. So I use midplane. if you do that, then the center of this part will always be in the middle, and that makes it easy. Another thing to notice is that I don't draw the holes in this yet. I can show you what happens if I do that. Then I'll have a problem later on. So I'm modeling the holes, whereas actually I shouldn't. So through all. Now you see what happens if I want to draw on the top plane. Here I want to draw this circle over here, and I'll draw it on the top plane, sketch a circle. It's convenient to have the center over there, so you always know where to start your sketch. And now you see my problem. If I already enter the holes in the beginning, then you see it's filled again. So don't put these cut extrudes just yet. First add all your material, and then later on you start entering your cut extrudes. So do that later. First I'll just add material, and the radius of this one, the diameter, should be given in the drawing, and it is, let me see it correctly, it is, hard to find, let me see here in the drawing file, this one is 23. I should have put this dimension over there as well, would have been more convenient. I'll just enter a value and change it later on. It should be roughly the width of this over here, which is 45. Well, I'm going to assume for now it's 45. 45. Alright. And then I can modify it later if it's not correct. Then from the side there's another extrude. If I look over here, I'm going to draw this one over here, this circle. It's more clear in the PDF, I think. Yeah. So I want to enter this circle right now, and the radius of that, I don't know if it's on the drawing. Let me see, otherwise I'll just assume a value to get close to the final result. It's just over 24, so I'll assume 28 over here. So I'll draw on the right plane a circle, and again, if your origin is in the right place, it's really easy. So I assume 28. The drawing file isn't complete yet. I should have checked all the dimensions. Now I have to guess some things. Again, midplane I'll use, and then the total length of this is 75. That is on the drawing. And then on the top plane, I'll have to model a rectangle, and again, when your origin is at the correct place, it's really easy to use that. And the dimensions of the rectangle should be a width of 45, if I see it correctly. This value should be 45 according to the drawing. Let me see, 45. And then the thickness of this should be 24. 24. Then I'll have to extrude this over 95 millimeters. So extrude 95 in a different direction. Alright. And then I'm almost finished already. I'm gonna draw again on the front plane, a sketch, circle, and I'll have to put it roughly over here. Later I'll create a relation that'll put this in exactly the right place, and it's a dimension of, let me see again, it's the outer dimension is 65. 65. And now I can create a relation to put this in the center. I can create a relation between the midpoint of this line, select midpoint, and this origin. So I'll use the Control button to select both of them. I'll put coincident. Of course they shouldn't be coincident because this line is not in the sketch, but SoldiWorks will project the middle point of this line onto my current sketch, and then it will create a relation with that. Again, the midplane should be used, and then the thickness of this is 35. Alright, so it's convenient to create all the added material like this, and then I'll create the holes in the part, which is then quite easy to do. and this one is diameter 12. Right. Cut extrude through all. Here I have a circle as well that I should use. Let me see. It is 25. And then I'll do cut extrude through everything. Oh, sorry, I looked at that wrong. It should be 40. I'll change that. That was a bit small. So this one should be 40. Now I have to rebuild because I changed something outside the sketch. Usually I go back into the sketch. Now I didn't do that, so I should rebuild to have that actually changed in my model. Then I need two circles over here to create a cut extrude, so one here and one here. So if you wait a little on the line, then the center point starts to be visible. And I need two dimensions for that, so this one should be 12. Alright, and this diameter is 35. And then I'll have to add something. I'll have to add a little extra cutout over here. So the dimensions are again on the drawing. The width of that is 11, so I'll just create this and this. And now it's easy to get it in exactly centered by using just a center line from there to there. And if that center line is exactly vertical, then this thing is exactly in the middle. Then I'll enter the dimension of 11 and a height of 6. If I'm correct, yeah, 6. This dimension is given in the drawing, 6. And I'll just cut away the material that I don't need. There and there. So there's a power trim. You have to walk through the model. And then I'll create a cut extrude and I'm almost finished. Again, through all. And then from the top, I need one more cut extrude with a dimension of 23. And now I can use a cut extrude. For example, there are more options right now. I only need to go through here, so not through everything, not through all, because it will cut the whole model. And what the most convenient end condition is up to next. It stops at the first projected surface where it hits. So that's right. So then the part is finished. I can add material, steel, can get the weight, tools, mass properties over here. So it's 2 kilograms roughly when I use steel for this part. And one thing I haven't done yet, and that's the fillets. So I see there all fillets should be radius 3. You see them standing in the model. You also see it over here, the fillets. And that's actually quite a bit of a hassle. To get all these fillets right, you need to click a lot of lines. So there is actually a good trick that you can do sometimes, and that's just cut away a whole big area of the model. For example, I'll create a cut extrude through all in both directions, and then I'll flip the side to cut. So it cuts away 3/4 of the model. And then it's more convenient to create a fillet, so it's not so much of clicking every line. Now it's quite convenient. I want to get a full preview of that. The radius should be 3 millimeters, and then I can just select the lines that I want to create a fillet on. I think it's this one, and this one as well. Oh, I've already taken that one. This one. It doesn't show preview anymore, so this one maybe I should get in a later stage. I'll create another feature. Alright. I think also these ones should be created in a later stage. And then, not the whole surface, but a line. I'll select this one's already, and this one too. No, this one later as well. Alright, so the way that you select the lines makes a difference for the part. So if you select one line first and another line later, it makes a difference for the order of the fillets. And that's why it's so convenient to do it only on a quarter of the model, and then you'll be finished quite fast. So I think just experimenting with the order would give another result over here. I think I've got all the fillets, and now I can just mirror it again. What you should then do is mirror in a surface and then use bodies to mirror. Then I will mirror the whole part. I should do that once more. So in this plane I want to mirror the whole body like that. So bodies to mirror is always convenient. It mirrors the whole part, not features to mirror in this case, because then it will only mirror, for example, a cut extrude and not the whole thing, the whole part you've created. So then you see it's easy to create those fillets, and then it's also easy to save it and create a drawing out of it. So I'll save it as part 2 or test part. Create a drawing, for example this. You can put the views on it, and then it's always good practice to create detail views where there are a lot of dimensions. So I've done that as well in the drawing that I put on GrabCAD. And what I did was create a detail view over here. So in this area there's a lot of dimensions, so just create a detail view of this area of the model to put the most dimensions. And what is then convenient is to put the dimensions with model items. Use these settings. I want to get the dimensions of the whole part for just this section first. I'll eliminate duplicates, so SoldiWorks will keep track of all the dimensions I've already added and not add them in this drawing view, for example. And if I push this button, it will also put whole callouts if you use the whole wizard of SolidWorks. I haven't done that now, but could be a good tip. Alright. Oh, that didn't go right. I should first select the drawing view that I want to put the dimensions on. Then use these settings and eliminate duplicates like that. And now it only dimensions this part. This is a bit strange. I'll just delete this dimension. That's weird. With the F button you get close back to the model again, and now it's nice to put these dimensions a bit in order. You select them all, wait for this button to appear, and then put dimensions in a neat order. So it puts all the dimensions that I've given on this, and this radius is not necessary in this case, so it puts all the dimensions over here, and then I can put the dimensions on the other drawing views. And for example, now I'll select this one, put the model items there, and then eliminate duplicates so it won't put the same dimensions again. This dimension is a bit weird, don't know why that happens. And then I'll just select all the dimensions and put them like that in a neat order. Of course you'll have to modify it a little bit to make it a little more clear, but it's already quite good. So that's it for basic part modeling. What I wanted to show is that it's quite convenient if you put the origin in the right place and use symmetry as much as possible. And what I usually do is first add material, then use the cut extrudes, and then the last part create the fillets. So then it should be easy to model this part.